Hi everyone, this is Allie Wise from Grief and Grace. I am a mama to twin toddlers, 2 angel babies in heaven, and 1 grace baby that we are expecting on Christmas Day this year. So this week, I am currently 32 weeks today, and I'm going to be talking about weeks 29, 30, and 31. It has been just really hard for me to find time to sit down and reflect and record just with everything going on. I feel like we're kind of in a little bit of a busy season right now, which will be winding down. Well, it will be ramping up with the holidays coming, and then definitely winding down once baby comes, and hopefully right before baby comes. So I'll talk about that a little bit, but the main things that happened the last few weeks are I did find out that I passed the glucose test, the glucose screener. So that was a huge weight off of my shoulders because I was really worried about it. I know this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I remember I was talking to my best friend about it, and I was telling her how healthy I was before I got pregnant with my twins, which was over 3 years ago, because they're over 2.5 now. And basically it's been a little bit downhill from there in terms of health. I'm just being honest, right? Like I was going to the gym multiple times a week, doing really intense workouts, very conscientious and intentional for the most part about what I was eating, just all in all in pretty good health and in pretty decent shape, like the best shape I had been in my adult life before I got pregnant with them, which was intentional. I was trying to get really healthy before I got pregnant. Well, this pregnancy has just been a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm still like, once you're postpartum, I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, I'm always forever gonna be postpartum, right? Like, I know there's obviously like those intense postpartum seasons where you are in survival mode and all of that. And no, I'm not in survival mode anymore, even though sometimes it does honestly feel that way having twins. But just being in this postpartum season of life where I have twin toddlers, I can make up every excuse in the book, right? But it is hard. It is genuinely hard for me to find time to intentionally work out, and I'm trying to do things, other things like walking and viewing my cleaning as like a workout, because sometimes, quite frankly, it is. Vacuuming out the car and crouching, crawling, climbing things. I'm trying to view that as a workout too in everyday life, but it's just not the same as going to the gym consistently. I wasn't seeing a personal trainer, but the gym class sizes were so small at the time, pretty much because this was like early it wasn't even quite post-COVID, but just like early years of gyms reopening and things like that. The classes were still quite small. And what am I trying to say? I don't even know what word I'm trying to say because I have mommy brain and pregnancy brain, but more intimate. It was a more intimate setting, and we knew the instructors and everyone there, and Dan and I would go together a lot, and it was an intense workout, and I basically viewed one of the instructors in particular too as my personal trainer. He was really, really great, even though it wasn't quite one-on-one. So that season of my life has ended for now. I joke with my husband that it's going to be once I'm done having kids and our oldest are a little bit grown-ish, and can help watch the kids more. I'm going to be in my fit 40s era. So right now I'm still in my 30s and, early 30s. So that's a little bit a ways away. So I'm trying to be creative and find ways to work out and be healthy, even in this season of life, especially in this season of life. It's a hard season of life, but I know that I'm doing important work, and there are sacrifices that we make as moms. Not that you don't want to value your health, you do. But another thing is, am I idolizing my health? Like, am I actually caring about my health, or am I caring about what I look like? And those are two very different things. And I think I tend to just honestly value what I look like and how I feel over my actual true health. So I'm trying to find a better balance of, okay, I don't want to idolize my body and how it looks, but I also don't want to make excuses and become lazy and not put the work in to make sure I'm healthy for myself, my husband, my kids, our family as it grows, my future grandkids. So anyways, that's just something I'm working on. But I did pass that test. My blood work came back. I'm just looking at my notes to stay on track. It did show that I have some slight anemia. I don't recall if I mentioned this in past videos, but I did have anemia, iron deficiency anemia. I was diagnosed with back in 2021, which was 4 years ago, almost 4.5 years ago. And it was a year before I got pregnant with my twins was when I got diagnosed. And so that was also part of my health journey too. Oh, hold on. My son is watching George right now. We're having a little bit of quiet time and screen time while I start prepping dinner and make a video. Okay. How about this episode and then we'll watch that? Okay. So anyways, my blood work did so I treated that. I worked with my medical team to get that under control 4 years ago, and now it's showing up again in this pregnancy. So basically what we're doing, it's not like a scary level. I can't even tell you right now off the top of my head what my levels are at. It's just they're showing that I'm having some slight anemia, which I'm not really concerned about. The only thing is I have been having some symptoms, not so far, not this week, but definitely last week. I was having symptoms of anemia. It reminded me of when I was anemic 4 years ago. Lightheadedness, weak, just overall not feeling like myself. So obviously I really want to address that. So what we're doing is, I just ordered another iron supplement because the one that I was taking, I just don't think was really doing a good enough job. I also need to be better about taking it more consistently. But what I'm worried about, I'm obviously going to take it because I know that's important, and I'm trying to also get it in my diet too more, eating green leafy vegetables, eating more red meat. But I am worried that I don't want to get constipated because that can happen with taking iron supplements, and that is a symptom that thankfully I have not dealt with this pregnancy. I dealt with it during my pregnancy with my twins, and that's just a symptom that I thankfully have not had to worry about. So I would love to not get constipated for the rest of the pregnancy, especially when I'm in the 3rd trimester and already starting to get uncomfortable, but we'll see what happens. My blood pressure was a little high at the beginning of my not my most recent appointment, but second to last appointment. It was high at the beginning and then it was fine at the end. I saw the nurse practitioner that day. I told her, you know what, I want to be honest with you and obviously honest with myself about if I'm having symptoms of preeclampsia, so I want to take it seriously. But at the same time, I also tend to be an anxious person, and I'm frazzled a lot. I'm trying to relax before I go to my appointments, but think about it, like the appointments are in the morning. I'm still working part-time. I'm trying to drop my kids off where they need to be, get to the appointment on time, figure things out. So I think a lot of people feel this way, but yeah, it's like I'm not meditating and like super calm before my medical appointments. So I also think I might have a little bit of white coat hypertension. So I don't know, but I'm just trying to be honest and just forthcoming about my symptoms with my medical team and with myself, my husband. So I just want to make sure that, I'm aware that obviously having higher blood pressure can be a sign of preeclampsia, and I did have preeclampsia with my twins, and I'm really trying to avoid it this time. So my most recent appointment, which was just this past Monday, it was fine. My blood pressure was totally fine. My doctor was fine with it. So I'm just, gonna monitor it and see. Hopefully everything goes well. And the blood pressure can stay low. So on October 15th, I was able to celebrate Hannah and baby Wise in my first Wave of Light. If you don't know what Wave of Light is, it's international, so it's 7 p.m. your time. You can light a candle in honor of your babies that have passed, and say a prayer, have a little celebration honoring and just with your spouse, with your kids, with your family, with friends, other lost moms, by yourself, whatever you want to do. It's an international thing, which I think is really cool, and that's why they call it the Wave of Light, because it's obviously not 7 p.m. at the same time everywhere around the world. So I just think it's a really beautiful thing, and it was really nice to be able to participate in that. So I lit a candle for Hannah and for our baby that we lost. Hannah passed last November 18th is the date that I use. That was when I had to go to the hospital. And then our baby in February of 2025, it was a very early loss, but that baby too, I wanted to honor both of them that night. So that was on October 15th. I just wrote, I'm finishing up commitments. I'm definitely getting in a season of trying to slow down more. So my most recent commitment that I finished up was my neighborhood book club. I think I mentioned that in a past video. I just have not been able to read a novel a month. Honestly, it was a struggle the whole time I was in book club, but especially this whole summer and then into fall, I have really not been reading much. I'm trying to read my Bible. I'm in a Bible study, but books for just fun, I just don't have the capacity for that right now. And it is sad because I love this group of women. We've turned into like a multi-generational sisterhood on my street. It's been really lovely getting to know these women. So I am going to miss going to book club, but I just know that I'm involved in just way too much right now, and I need to slow down, and I'm not going to be able to consistently read a novel and actively participate in a book club when I have a newborn. So definitely starting to finish up some commitments. That was the first one to go. I wrote nesting, exclamation point, underline. I am definitely in nesting mode right now. I am cleaning more than I usually do, trying to organize, purge things, get rid of clutter, just really trying to make this space homey and clean and comfortable and as open as possible too. Like I organized the twins' bedroom just to open up some space. This weekend I really have to organize our room, the room that I share with my husband, and our office space. So those are like really the last two things to like declutter and purge and organize. But yes, that is what I'm doing right now. And I know that I'm just gonna keep doing that. That's what happened with my twin pregnancy. You get to a point where you're just nesting and your activity levels and commitments go down and your appointments go up, and you just want to stay home and get this space ready. You're in a season of no, right? Like telling people, no, sorry, I can't do that right now. But baby's doing well. Baby's moving and grooving. I am constantly I'm wondering, always like, where are you? Are you kicking me? Are you punching me? I think baby's just so active, and that was, seen on the anatomy scan, and just so funny. I'm just so excited. I'm only 32 weeks, so obviously I want baby to stay in there as long as possible, but I am just getting so excited to meet this little guy or girl. We don't know. We want to be surprised. So we're getting very, very excited. Symptoms. I'm very, very tired. I'm having some insomnia. I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, or I'm getting up to rock my daughter or son, whoever's waking up in the middle of the night at times, and I'm not able to go back to sleep. Like last night, I just could not go back to sleep. So I'm definitely dealing with that again. Some indigestion, sciatica still. My butt cheeks, like my butt muscles, especially my left, just really, really hurts, especially at night. I'm just getting really, really uncomfortable already. And I still have, how many weeks left to go? 7-ish. We'll see, 7, 8. Okay, I wrote down, this is an important one. I kind of talked about my body being an idol earlier. So I wrote, I still want to VBAC, right? That is my goal, is to have a vaginal birth after cesarean, because I did not end up needing a C-section with my twins. But I am starting to recognize that I have been turning that into an idol. And I don't want to do that. I obviously want to do what I can to have as healthy of a more natural vaginal birth as possible with this baby. Not only just for the benefits of it, but also recovery. I'm not gonna lie, like thinking about a cesarean recovery, it's major abdominal surgery. I've been through it once. Recovery was hard, and that was with 2 infants who were in the NICU. This will be ideally a healthy full-term baby that's coming home from the hospital right away with me. And I have twin toddlers who really need me, and we're still working on potty training and just all of the things. And if I can't lift, that's just going to be very, very, very difficult. So I'm trying to view this as, not only is this the more favorable delivery, just from, the benefits, recovery, bonding, all of that. I just am really worried about recovery with having twins. So, but I'm trying to have a balance, again, even with my body and with working out. I want to have a balance between, is this becoming an idol? Is having a VBAC becoming something that I'm idolizing? Or is it just something that it'll be what it'll be if I can't? But I'm just trying to do this as the most favorable outcome. So I'm trying to keep myself in check. But I was talking to my husband about it, and I really came to the realization that I have been idolizing this. I've been idolizing this for the last 2.5 years. I knew I wanted to VBAC as soon as I had them and couldn't have them vaginally. So anyways, I just want, I don't want to make a certain birth story my idol. And I'm still praying about delivering at the same hospital that I miscarried at. Hannah died at this hospital. I view that she went to Jesus at this hospital, and that's where I'm going to be delivering this baby. So I have talked to my therapist about it. I'm going to make a tea towel in honor of Hannah and bring it to the hospital. I think that'll be really healing and a good way to honor her. So I'm still working on the design for that. But that is my plan, is to do that, and just, lots of prayer too. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because this is turning into quite a long video, which I assumed it would. I'm talking about 3 weeks all in one, but I tried to stay pretty much on task. Okay. So the song of the week is Good Lord by David Leonard, and I really like the version that features Katie Nicole. I think it's a great, great song. Go check it out. And scripture of the week is Psalm chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. I'm going to read it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways know him, and he will make your path straight. I hope that you're all doing well. I would love to hear from you. Let me know how this pregnancy is going. Let me know what's going well. What are you struggling with mentally, emotionally, physically? It's a lot going through pregnancy after loss, and I would just love to know how I can support you, how I can pray for you through all of this. We're definitely in it together, and I will chat with you more next week. Bye.